Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're focusing on something that can absolutely transform a business. We are talking about building a revenue-generating social media strategy literally from the ground up, not just high-level theories, but a real practical step-by-step architecture that you can actually use. Okay, let's dive into this. So, right now, roughly 59% of the world's entire population uses the internet. Just think about that for a second. That is literally billions of potential eyes on your product or service. It's an unprecedented opportunity in the history of commerce. But, with that massive volume of people comes a very real problem. How exactly does your brand cut through all that noise to reach the people who actually want what you're selling? Well, the answer is social media marketing. This means using platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to efficiently reach that larger audience. And I really want to emphasize that word, efficiently. Because honestly, this isn't just about posting pretty pictures and hoping for the best. It's a highly strategic tool. You use it to personalize your brand, build a genuine community, interact with your customers directly, and ultimately drive sales and increase traffic. To give you some peace of mind, we've got a practical blueprint for you today. We'll be going step by step, starting with an introduction to social media marketing, analyzing your tools, setting your goals and target audience, looking at content creation, and finally, diving into some real-world case studies. Step 1. Introduction to social media marketing, the digital opportunity. Moving right along to Step 2. Analyzing social media tools, equipping your toolkit. Because before we build our digital house, we definitely need the right tools. To tame the absolute chaos of digital marketing, you need tools in 3 clear categories. Now, what's really interesting about this breakdown is how it organizes everything. First, community management tools. These allow you to track and reply to messages across platforms in one single place, which is going to save you hours of time. Second, competitor analysis tools let you see exactly what rival brands are doing so you can easily benchmark your own performance. And third, advertising and promotion tools. These are absolutely essential for setting up, targeting, and overseeing those sponsored ad budgets so you don't waste a single penny. Step 3. Goals and target audience, laying the foundation. Every successful blueprint requires a rock-solid foundation, right? Well, in social media, laying that foundation means answering 2 vital, non-negotiable questions. What exactly do you want to achieve, and who exactly are you talking to? To answer that first question, your goals have to be SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. You can't just say, I want more followers. A SMART goal is saying something like, I want to increase brand awareness by gaining 500 new local followers on Instagram in the next 30 days to drive lead generation. See the difference? That gives your entire strategy a precise, focused direction. And this builds directly into answering the second question. Who are you talking to? Walk through these steps with me. First, identify basic demographics like age and location. Second, analyze their online behaviors and interests. And third, select the platforms where they actually spend their time. For example, if you're a B2B software company, your audience is probably hanging out on LinkedIn. But if you're a highly visual clothing brand, your audience is scrolling through Instagram. Bottom line, go where your valued customers actually are. Step 4. Content creation, constructing the frame. This is the phase where your strategic foundation finally becomes visible to the outside world. All the planning we just talked about comes to life right here. And there are some core rules for constructing that frame. Your content must provide true value. It either needs to inform or entertain. No exceptions. You also must maintain consistency so your audience knows what to expect from you. You need to optimize for shareability using catchy, high-quality visuals. And critically, you need to integrate SEO, search engine optimization, best practices. Using the right keywords and hashtags ensures your content is actually discoverable by search engines and the specific users you're trying to reach. Now, there is a fundamental shift every marketer needs to make, and this brilliantly illustrates it. Brand-centric content just shouts, buy our stuff, and, frankly, it gets ignored. Audience-centric content, however, focuses on understanding and solving the customer's actual needs and pain points. Focusing on the user and providing real solutions is what builds long-term trust, loyalty, and ultimately, sales. Step 5. Real-world case studies, the final walkthrough. Let's see all of this in action. Let's set up the story of Apache Pizza. They're a pizza delivery business with over 100 locations, and they needed to boost sales by 10% among a younger demographic. So what did they do? Well, they utilized hyper-local Snapchat targeting. They targeted lower funnel audiences, meaning people who were already showing a high intent to purchase, and they focused specifically on users located near their physical stores. They kept the content super simple, just one static image and one video creative. They did this to ensure they weren't wasting a single dime advertising to people who lived nowhere near a pizza shop. The result was a massive return on ad spend. 86 to 1. For every single dollar they spent, they made 86 back. So the crucial point is, by setting a clear goal, knowing their younger audience lived on Snapchat, and using hyperlocal targeting, this simple but incredibly precise execution completely shattered all of their sales projections.
Let's look at a second micro-narrative. The sports giant Adidas wanted to generate massive hype for their X Speed Flow football boots, which they were positioning as the world's quickest. Now, instead of just posting a traditional ad, they challenged fans on Twitter to prove their own speed. They designed an entire campaign around finding and honoring the fastest football players on the platform, deeply engaging their audience's competitive spirit and their sheer love for the game.
Now I want to ask you this. How can you apply this level of audience-driven creativity to your own brand? Seriously, reflect on that Adidas case study for a moment. They didn't just talk about themselves. They made their audience the heroes of the campaign. Think about how you can engineer that kind of user-generated excitement and direct participation into your own social media strategy. Which brings us to our final provocative thought. What will your social media blueprint build? We've gone from the very basics of understanding the digital landscape to equipping our tools, laying a smart foundation, creating audience-centric content, and seeing the massive, real-world returns it can generate. The tools are right in front of you. The audience is waiting. It's time to take this blueprint and start building. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I absolutely cannot wait to see what you create.